Do you ever feel like manifestation is just another thing on your to-do list that you don't have time for? Like your spiritual practice is something that you have to do? Honestly, you're not alone because I felt that way too. Something that's really changed my relationship with manifestation is blending it into my lifestyle so that no matter what I'm doing, I'm also manifesting. I call this manifestation as a lifestyle, and it's single handedly made the entire manifestation journey more enjoyable for me. And I've seen my desires show up with a lot more ease. Manifesting as a lifestyle has made manifestation go from feeling like a task to something I just naturally do because it's who I am. If you'd like to learn more about this, I've created a step by step guide for you. I'll link it in my show notes so you can check it out. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Affirmation Addict podcast. This is your host, Payal Agarwal, and today I'm talking about all things signs and synchronicities. A few days ago, I got a bunch of questions about what signs are, angel numbers, how to ask for signs. So in this episode, I will be talking through all of those and answering some of the questions you guys asked me. Hope you guys enjoy. Hi everyone, my name is Payal Agarwal and I want to welcome you to the Affirmation Addict podcast. Affirmations have changed my life and now it is my mission to help you use them to change yours by using affirmations every day to manifest things your way. My goal is to make affirmations attainable and accessible to every single person, including you, because you have the ability to take control and create your reality. So come with me on my journey and let's see what we can manifest together. Hello, everybody, and I hope you are having a beautiful day wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. I hope it is fabulous, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. And I'm really excited for this episode because I think it's been a long time coming where I talk about signs and synchronicities and what all of that means. And the reason this podcast is finally here is because I was going through something where I was just really frustrated. And I was like, I literally closed my eyes and I was like, universe, please give me a sign. And 10 seconds later, I got it. And for some reason at that moment, I felt the need to document it. And so I posted it on my Instagram, and so many of you guys were amazed at how quickly it happened. And you guys tried it on your own, and 90% of you, I would say, received either angel numbers or some sort of symbol when you ask for that sign. And that just shows how powerful it is. And so that is just kind of the little backstory as to where this episode was truly inspired from. And I'm going to go through and explain a few things about signs and synchronicities. And I also have about 5 questions that really embody all of the questions I was sent. And so I will be answering those throughout this entire episode. And so the first thing I want to start off with is, what are signs? So people ask me how to explain signs from the universe, and basically what I believe is that our mind, this is actually science, our mind is used to seeing patterns. We are programmed to find patterns in the world, and signs basically are little messages from the universe, and they oftentimes come in the form of numbers, and that's really commonly known as angel numbers. But they're also really common things like a white feather or a rose or a flower. A lot of people, butterflies and moths and little, a lot of people, if you like saints or different gods of different religions, people really connect with those. And signs can be in the form of anything that resonates with you. And the way to know if it is in fact a sign is that it just connects with you. You just know. That's really where the intuition comes in handy. Because for me, when I ask for a sign, I never ask for a specific sign. I just ask for any sign because I trust that I will know if it's a sign or not. I don't know if that makes complete sense. I know I just keep saying the word sign a lot, so I'll dive deeper. But the basic thing is, people ask for signs when they need extra guidance. And that is really when you can connect with your higher self, with the universe, and with your guides. We all have guides, whether you believe in angels, spirit guides, the universe, energy, whatever you believe in, we are being guided by something bigger. And signs are a really great way to kind of be in touch with them and talk to them because they're always listening. For example, your subconscious mind can be your guide. If you don't believe in any spiritual or religious guides, you could kind of consider your subconscious mind your guide, which it totally is. Your subconscious mind is very, very powerful. And the situations in which I would ask for signs, where I have asked for signs in the past, is honestly so many. It can be for anything. I have asked for signs in business decisions, in my love life, making decisions with my family, in just day-to-day things, even like choosing a restaurant. Like, it can be for anything. Basically, it's the fact that your guides and your angels and you, like your higher self, they know what you need and they know what's best for you. So anytime you're in a situation where you don't know what's best for you, or you have even an ounce of doubt, try asking for a sign. And the thing I almost always find myself doing is when I'm almost anxious and worried about something and I'm being really impatient, I ask for a sign, like, hey, please give me a sign if this is going to happen. And it's a sense of ease, because normally like 5 minutes later I'll get that sign. And that's the most beautiful thing about signs, is you'll get them so quickly, so often, that it's just shocking that there's something bigger that's listening to you, that's just waiting for you to ask. And that's why even right after you listen to this podcast episode, I encourage you to just simply ask for a sign. And the exact way you do it, I know a lot of you like really, really enjoy structure. So the way you ask for a sign, it's literally a one-step process. You just close your eyes, and you don't even have to close your eyes actually, but you just set the intention and you're like, universe or angels, please give me a sign if, and fill in the blanks. So what I do, because a lot of people are like, well, how do you know if a sign is saying yes or no? So I always ask the sign where it's not a yes or no answer. It's basically, show me a sign if this. And if not, you don't receive a sign. So basically, maybe for one example, like, okay, with Tom coming home early, I was like, universe, please show me a sign that Tom is going to come home early and safely. If he is going to come home safely, I get the sign. If he's not, I don't get the sign. Granted, that's an extreme example, but it's basically like you ask it where you receive the sign, which means yes, and if you don't receive a sign, that means no, because you don't need to do it where it's like, what type of food should I eat today, and you see Asian food. Like, you can do that, but if you're starting off, I really recommend phrasing your questions in a way that yes will be to receive the sign and no will be to not receive the sign. Basically, so you know, and it's easy for you to judge, because we tend to overthink, and especially with signs, it's really hard to believe when you first start playing around with it, because we just don't believe this day to day. It's not something that's taught. It's not something we are really accustomed to learning about and hearing about. So it's really shocking the first few times it happens. But now, like, it's like I'm having a conversation with them. Like, for random things, I'm like, okay, please show me a sign if this suits me better, or if that suits me better. Whether it's food, whether it is going on a trip, whether it's booking a flight, these signs and synchronicities, they are just your higher self. They're the higher powers, our intuition guiding us the way we need to, and it's showing up in our life as a pattern. And in terms of what types of signs people see, so for me, the most popular sign I see is angel numbers. And that's basically, I think, because that's the most common thing I've looked for. So angel numbers, if you don't know what that is, it's repeating numbers. So if you see 111 or 222, 333, and so on, I believe that angel numbers are very, very powerful, because you basically are being told by the universe, like, hey, this is your message, because each angel number has a meaning and it has a message. And if you've never heard of this, I actually have a guide for you. I'll make sure I link it in the notes below, that I have a guide that explains each of the angel numbers and what they mean and what type of message they're giving. And what I do is I normally just ask for a sign, and I normally receive that angel number within seconds. And that's the coolest thing. It's because even if I'm sitting in my house and then it happens to be 1:11 and I notice the clock, it's not like you're seeking out and you're like waiting for the clock to turn 1:11. It's not that. It's your eyes naturally just dart to it and you just notice it. It's not like you're seeking it out. I'm not like scanning my room to find angel numbers. That's not how it works. It's more like your eyes naturally just shift, whether it's to the clock or the gas meter or a license plate or the house number of somebody or your receipt. Like your eyes will just notice it. It's not like you are like researching and seeking it out everywhere you look. And for some things, I have received signs that are not numbers. Numbers, I think, are the most common signs because we are surrounded by numbers and our brain is programmed through numbers. Our brain is really, really attracted to numbers. And so that's why I think numbers are the easiest for most people to see, to notice, and to play around with. But I've also received random signs. For example, like I've asked for something and I didn't, because I don't choose what my sign is. I just let any sign that resonates with me. So one time I saw, I asked for something, I asked for a sign and I saw Ganeshji. And for those of you who don't know who Ganeshji is, he is a Hindu god, quote unquote, known as the elephant god, but he is a remover of obstacles. And that is what the god is known of. And I saw him like randomly like etched into a wall on my college campus at ASU. So that's not something that's very common. That was something that just I stumbled upon and I saw it when I needed it. And that to me really resonated with me. For some people, it might be like a sign of some words that really resonate with you, or a cross, or a sign, like a symbol of an angel even, or a feather, or a butterfly. And a lot of people do this thing where they ask for certain things. So I know some people, some of my clients especially, who are like, okay, I want to see a blue butterfly if this is true. And I personally have never tried that because I've never felt that strong of a desire. I remember when I was little, I would be like, okay, if this boy has a crush on me, then I will see a white flower. I did used to do that when I was younger, and sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. And as I was speaking, I looked at my audio player where I'm recording and it said 333. So it's just different signs that the angels are making themselves present. They're making their presence known to know that you are always divinely guided, divinely protected, and just divinely supported. And that is something that is so comforting. It takes you outside of your ego and takes you onto a higher level. That's why I think signs and synchronicities are so powerful. It is not just coincidences. I strongly believe there's no such thing as a coincidence, whether it is deja vu, whether it is basically things working out magically. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that is the universe. I think that is our higher selves. I think that is everything working in alignment, in synchronicity. I do not believe in coincidences. I think we manifest those things to work out exactly how we need it to be. And so that is really, really my take on what synchronicities are, how to explain them, and what they really mean. But what I wanted to do is answer some of your guys' questions about where synchronicities come from and just more specific details, because I know it can be kind of shocking because it's so easy and it's like, wow, so much information. And so I will go through one by one, answer some of the questions, and I have some other kind of frequently asked questions that I'll go through as well. So the first question, I kind of already touched on it, is can we ask for signs about anything? And my answer is yes. You can ask for signs about anything because your body, the universe, angels, they're always listening to you. And the next question is, what type of signs can we ask for? So as I mentioned earlier, you can ask for either a specific sign. So you can say, I want to see a blue butterfly, or you can just say, I want to see a sign. And that sign, you'll know when it's a sign. And a big thing people are like, how do I know if I'm making this up in my head? You're not. As I mentioned, I do not believe in coincidences. These are not coincidences. This is the angel speaking to you. And that's a really big precursor for all of this. If you don't believe in synchronicities, if you don't believe in this, it might not work for you, and that's okay. But if you are open to believing it and receiving it, then it will show up probably way sooner than you expect. How do you identify if it is a sign or not? So angel numbers are the best identifier because they're super easy. It's just repetitive numbers. Another thing is you can Google it. So say you think something is a sign. Say you see like a white feather and you're like, interesting. That's your intuition telling you that is a sign. But if you don't know, try Googling it and just say symbolic meaning or feather sign, because these are really, really ancient symbolisms, ancient synchronicities. This isn't just a one generation thing. These have been around for thousands of years. Symbols and signs and the meanings of different things are so powerful and so known in our society. This is the way our human minds and generations and tribes really used to thrive. We used to use these signs and synchronicities as a way of life and as our guides. Before we had like law and rules, we would use these types of signs to actually rule our life. So if you don't know if it's a sign for you, or if you don't know what the meaning is, try Googling it. And if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't. Like the thing with law of attraction and manifestation and affirmations is it is all what feels right to you and what feels best to you. Your definition might be different than someone else's, and your intuition is the thing that can guide you the best. I can tell you everything I know. You can read all these books, all these courses, all these free guides, but the biggest thing that's going to guide you is you. And that's where you really need to develop a sense of trust with yourself and for yourself. Okay, the next question is, what does it mean if I've been seeing the same number for 35 to 40 years? And if you keep seeing that same number, please download my guide and read about what those numbers mean. And if you keep seeing a certain number, if you keep seeing like the number 15, that could just be your lucky number. Like lucky numbers, that's a very commonly known kind of trait that we all hear about. And lucky numbers are really, really important because numbers are patterns and numbers are the way we work. And it's really powerful to just take that number and use that as your sign. So next time you ask for a sign, then if you see that number, that can be your answer. It's just trusting that that's a sign. Even if it's only your sign and not somebody else's, that's not wrong. That is your sign for you. And for me, like I absolutely love flowers and roses. And so whenever I ask for a sign, oftentimes I'll see like a big billboard with a rose on it, or I'll see a big like sign for free flowers here, and to me that's a sign. But for some people it just doesn't mean anything. So really listen to what works for you. Another question I got is if you should ask a particular yes or no manner. So like if yes, I want to see this. If no, I want to see this. You totally can. It's not necessary by any means. So you are more than welcome to say, if the answer is yes, please show me a red rose. If the answer is no, please show me a white rose. Your mind is so powerful. You can really command it to do anything and notice anything. But really the true thing that comes down to synchronicities and signs is you already know the answer inside of you. It's just we as humans seek that outside validation. We see that outside kind of comfort and authority for somebody else to tell us because we're scared or we're nervous or we don't believe that we know best because we have that self-doubt. We have that lack of self-worth, which is so natural. So it's not a bad thing. But truly, you already know the answer inside of you. The universe will find a way to show it to you in another way. But if you already know the answer, let that answer be there for you. And don't fight it. And for example, if you see a sign where you don't like the result of it, then that's okay. Like another thing is you can change your reality. Like you don't have to accept that sign as truth. That's the thing. And that's something I've always talked about is your reality is always your choice. So say you receive a sign that is basically saying no to something you want, then you don't have to accept that. You can be like, you know what, right now, that sign means no, but I'm going to change something in my actions and my thoughts and my behaviors for that sign to still manifest. And that is something that you can do. You have the power. It's really all about how much power we are willing to give ourselves. We are willing to give our mind. We are willing to believe that we have, because whatever you believe is possible is possible. Another question I get is, are signs just our mind making up things that we want to see? And truly, I think the way our mind works is your mind will find evidence of anything you believe, which is why when I ask for signs, I don't ask for, show me a red car if this, because the second you say red car, our mind will look for a red car. And if that works for you, that works. But to me, I just say, show me a sign, and I don't be specific because it could be angel numbers, but I'm not seeking those out. It could be that white rose that I always talk about or the red rose I always talk about, but I allow it to be up in the air rather than me forcing it to be a certain thing. Because to me, I am very well aware of the fact that our minds are so powerful. We will seek out, we will find evidence for anything that we think of. And another thing people ask a lot is, how do you know if a certain thing actually is your sign? And so for me, it's roses. It's because I am just so obsessed with them. It just means like I love the idea of blossoming. I love the fragrance. I love anything roses. And that just like you just know because it feels so good to you and it feels just like joyful. And so for some people that could be a globe. For some people it could be the color, like it could be a color red, or for some people it could be cars. It can be really, really anything. It's really just about having confidence in your own ability to read that sign. And when it comes down to it, I just want to give you a few takeaways and one action item that I really, really hope you guys try because it is so fun. So the biggest takeaways are signs and synchronicities are not coincidences. That is the higher energies, our highest selves, our subconscious minds really aligning and showing us, our conscious minds, proof that there is something bigger than our egos, that there is something bigger out there, and that you have guidance, that you're always supported. Secondly, I do have a free download for you. I have the guide to angel numbers. So if you don't know what angel numbers are, or you just want a refresher, I have a full, I think it's like a 10-page guide about going into each angel number, what it means, and giving you full guidance on how to interpret each angel number. So that I will be linking in the notes below. And third, my biggest takeaway that I want you guys to try out is try this for yourselves. All you need to do is just set an intention and just be like, universe, please show me a sign. And if you have something specific, say, please show me a sign if this is true. And just fill in the blank with whatever situation or scenario you're dealing with. I guarantee you it is so much more powerful than you think. It's just about simply asking. We are nervous to ask because we don't want to hear rejection. But I promise you, the universe, angels, guides, they are just waiting for you to ask so they can serve you. It's just we don't take the time out of our day to ask because it seems kind of crazy at the time. And so I highly, highly encourage it. And if you do see a sign, share it on your story. If it's just an angel number or if it's something, or share this podcast, take a screenshot and tag me in it. And I will reshare some of yours. If you guys have some cool stories, send them over. I love hearing your takeaways from the podcast, from what you've learned, and from you trying this out for yourself. I really, really want to encourage you to try this out because you have the power within you. Angel numbers have been my sign and my guide for so long, just because it's so easy to see, so accessible, and it's just so comforting knowing that you have something bigger out there supporting you when you feel almost helpless. So I highly recommend to try asking for a sign, see what comes up, and if you have more questions, send them my way and I'll do my best to answer them as soon as they come. So I hope you have a beautiful, aligned rest of your day and just keep smiling, keep pushing through. If you're working through something, I understand. So support yourself, give yourself the love you need, and spread some love to other people who might need it as well. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Mwah! Bye-bye. That's all I have for you guys, and I just want to say thank you again for spending some time with me. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, head over to my social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or go to my website if you want to subscribe to my email list, which is affirmation-addict.com. I cannot wait to hear from you guys, and I will talk to you guys super soon. Have a good one, you guys. Bye!